Hello, everyone. Hey, Monty. Afulabi. Good afternoon. How you doing? Hey, Michael. How you doing, guys? Hope you enjoy your weekend and chill, calm down, relax, get ready for the next week. God damn. Yeah. Anton, thanks for being there on Sunday. Welcome, buddy. Dude, you know, trading means a lot of jobs to do. So, like I've explained, I have a horse farm and, lots of stuff to do there as well. I need to work almost every day, and preparation is all what counts. It's very important to prepare the week, to know what you will have to expect, to prepare the setups, to avoid emotional and impulsive trading. Because if you don't prepare anything and you are analyzing and you see the market, jumps up or drops down, and then you FOMO, you feel like you have to participate in that move, and then you see, it would not have been a valid setup for you. So it's better to know what you actually want to trade, what you want to do, and as soon as you have prepared your week, you know exactly what you're waiting for. When you see a move, then you know whether this move is, in your favor or not, and this move is a valid signal for you or not. Hey, Bruce, man, yeah, long time no talk, man. Probably because you're used to your time zone now, right? In New York. Are you still in New York? Because you said your plan was to go to Florida, to dive, to chill on the beach and stuff. And yeah, Monty, I'm great. I'm fine so far. Remember, I had to calm down a bit, man, because the week was very tough. A lot of stuff to do, like I said. And on Saturday, I used some time just to relax, stay away from the charts and just to calm down a bit. Cause I was really, really tired and trading, and everything that has to do with trading needs you 100% performance. You need to be there. When you're sick, when you're tired, when whatever, you shouldn't trade, and you should, or when you're emotional, you shouldn't trade. Just, relax a bit and then go back to the charts. Uh, you'll be in Florida next week. Nice, dude. I would love to be there, man. Some diving with white sharks, man. That's what I really want to do one time. I've never met a white shark. I've met a tiger shark in the water. That was amazing. But as long as you stay on the ground, you're not in the prey zone. Let's say it that way. You're not in the prey zone. When you stay on the ground, then you just can cuddle them. They get very curious, man. It's amazing. When you just stand still, you don't got any, skin that you show. You don't seem to be prey. Then they get curious and come close, and that's great. I like that, man. Always huge the coral. Yeah, oh man, I would love to. Ronald, good afternoon, buddy. Gail is here. How are you doing? Man, everyone is here. And BSB Customs. Ich bin auch dabei. Nice. It means he's down to be here. Okay, guys, so before we check the charts, we gonna take a look at the fundamentals. I want to know what we have to expect for the next week. I love to check Forex Factory and investing.com. It's weird sometimes because I don't know why, but sometimes there are missing events on investing.com. You don't see all the events that Forex Factory is showing. So what I'm doing is I compare them and see, okay, do they actually show me all the events that are important for the next week? That's what I do. And yeah, I check Forex Factory first and then investing.com. But what do we see here? Yeah, Monday is probably gonna be a very, very slow day. I don't even think it's worth trading because even UK is closed. We knew that the United States is closed. So there's a big liquidity provider, missing in the market, as well as London is missing. Lots of big liquidity providers missing in the market. The Asia session could be interesting because we got some headlines on the weekend. More trade war tension between China and the USA. Trump, saying, "Oh, I'm going to do this and that. I'm going to strike back, blah blah blah." So there might be some reactions in the market tonight when Japan opens. Might be interesting for those who are awake and trade the Asia session, but I think that it's going to be more quiet during the London session. And if there's action, then we're probably going to see a lot of volatility because there's a lack of liquidity, right? So there's not much volume needed to move the market during the long session probably. So Monday might be very calm and quiet. We get some, what do we get? We get the, wait, I want to stay on this week. What do we get to see? Right. So I'm going to stay at investing.com now. German GDP and the IFO business climate. Nice data, man. They often cause some moves. Unfortunately, they get released tomorrow or published tomorrow while we have less liquidity in the market. So it's even more risky to trade them because, lack of liquidity is volatility. And, the more volatility we have, the trickier it gets, to find the right timing and the right stop loss level. And it means that we have to increase or widen the stop losses and so decrease the risk reward. So it's not that attractive to trade it. But these data can cause some moves. We're going to take a look at that tomorrow because tomorrow I will live stream as well when we trade. So, we get some exports, imports. In Hong Kong, we got the trade balance, New Zealand. It's not that interesting, it's okay. But the problem is still that the markets are closed. So I will be very carefully. I will live stream, and this live stream will probably be very boring again because the market might not move. So we can talk about other things maybe while we look at the charts. But let's see. We're going to check that tomorrow. Okay, on Tuesday, what do we see? Nothing special during the London session. German consumer climate, but we already have the IFO climate index on Monday. We gonna get to see the CB consumer confidence and the new home sales. This might be interesting. Oh, look at the forecast, man, minus 21.9%, and the previous was at minus 15.4. That's a bad outlook for the US economy. And that's what I mean, you see what the market is actually doing. It's not pricing in the reality, man. We have worse and worse forecasts for different, parts of the economy, if that makes sense, how I'm saying that. And you see how the stock market tries to go up and to go up. They completely ignore the reality. And that means it's like, how do you say that? Like a time bomb. Man, I'm still sorry guys, I'm in German. What do you call this? Time bomb, clockwork bomb. Okay. Means that if there are any bad news headlines, more tensions between China, USA, or anything that could worsen the situation or that could destroy the hope of the market, the reality will catch up. And when the reality catches up, then boom, we're probably going to see another drop. Okay, so Tuesday won't be that great maybe it will be great because the market is closed on Monday, and all the investors are waiting to do something, and there might be some news and headlines during Monday, and on Tuesday they finally can open their positions. There might be some volatility at the beginning of them, when the market opens. So and then we get the new home sales. So I expect more to happen during the US session. On Wednesday, we will get to see not that interesting. South Africa core CPI. Not that much, man. Building permits in Canada. API weekly crude oil stock pre-indicated for Thursday. On Thursday, we always get to see the crude oil inventories. It's the oil day and the cat day, so Thursday is always risky, but also great to trade Canadian dollar and to trade crude oil. Last year, we always had that on Wednesday. This year on Thursday. Yeah, look, Thursday we will get to see not that important news during the London session. German CPI. But this is London time, by the way, which I'm showing you. Yeah, when you see 13, then it's London time. The core durable goods orders is important. The GDP obviously always important. The initial jobless claims important, and where do we got the continue pending home sales, and yeah, crude oil inventories always important currently because everyone wants to trade oil. I think that is important. Hey Jeremy, how you doing? Johnson at KK, I'm great, and you? Hope you're feeling good. Shoek, you're looking fresh today, man. I'm actually looking like shit, man, because I gotta go to the barber shop, but I can't. To the barber. But I can, man. I really gotta get a fresh haircut. No appointments, guys. All the ladies who were, who had to wait for like 2 months are currently, rushing into to the barbers. Okay, what do we got on Friday? On Friday, we got jobless claims Japan. Not much, guys. CPI, Europe, GDP in Canada. Not much happening. Now I'm gonna check it here. Important events. Let's filter this. I want to see with week. Yeah, we got the week. Oh wait, that's enough. That's okay. But as you can see, Wednesday, European Central Bank President Lagarde speaks could be important. Okay, look. Do I see this here on Wednesday, or did I miss it? Wait, Wednesday, Thursday, Wednesday. Hold on. Did I? Okay, it's the financial stability review. ECB President Lagarde speaks. No, here the review is here. No, it's not showing me that event. That's what I mean. That's why I compare them. Look here. President Lagarde speaks. Now here on investing.com. That's why I always do this. Hey Luis, how you doing, buddy? That's why I always do this. Okay, Fed Chair Paul speaks on Friday. But so far, and that's what I like. This is a week without any interest rate decisions or important interest rate decisions, such as decisions from the European Central Bank and the Federal Bank of or the Fed. And it means we don't get that type of constipated week. On the other hand, we have a lack of fundamentals this week. There are not a lot of important economy data, but I think that we're going to get to see a lot of headlines, Trump posting this about China this, that, since there are so many, not rumors, but news about the reopenings, and we see that the market is, or that Corona is, currently not that important to the market anymore. They come up with a new topic, which has been the trade war before Corona. And now they come up with that one again. So there might be volatility going on. And if we get headlines like that, man, then it can be, first of all, sometimes hard to predict because it's probably going to be a news-driven market again. And the problem is this lack of fundamentals that we see could cause a slow market. So we might get this typical quiet before the storm, and I hate markets like that because these markets are not giving you a clear direction for the day when I start trading during the long session. But we will see. We have to wait. Okay, so we know it's not a constipated week type. That's great because the market will not wait for these events. It will not wait until Wednesday and Thursday, and Friday will freak the hell out. So we could get some moves on Monday and Tuesday as well, depending on how much liquidity we will have in the market. Okay, so far so good. That's the fundamental side of the preparation. We first want to know, okay, what will we have to expect? It's not a non-farm payroll week. It's not a constipated week. It's just a, it could be a trendy week, but I see that, there's just a lack of fundamentals. Let's head to the charts, and you can decide what we begin with. Give me a currency pair. With the news, with this news about the new tension between China and Hong Kong, what is your thoughts about JPY? Dude, I have to check this first, man, because I haven't seen that China and Hong Kong. I have to read it, dude, first, because I didn't read that headline yet. I was on Saturday. I mostly stay away from charts and just try to, refresh my mind. And nice surprise stream, Ali. Yeah, it's a surprise stream. Okay, I would like to before we start with cross pairs, I would always take a look. First of all, I would always take a look at the major pair. So when you check GBP NZD, first look at GBP USD and NZD USD. I would always recommend this because the major pairs, or your bears for the major pairs, can, be against your forecast for GBP NZD. I will first check the major pairs before you get into cross pairs. It's very important in terms of correlations. So let's start with Euro USD. Then we can check GBP USD, NZD USD, and then GBP NZD. I think that makes sense. All right. So, yeah. I think I still got my chart here. As you can see, we were short on Friday. Yeah, short on Friday here. We were shorting at 530 here. And it has hit the second target area. But what you can see is in Euro USD. Oh, I don't want to delete this. I don't want to. It's currently, let's stay at the 4-hour chart. It's currently still in this triangle, as you can see here. This triangle, or this contraction currently. And additionally, there is a very strong support here. And after I've seen the market is rejecting here twice, creating, kind of like a double top pattern, I was short. I wanted to short it. And I had a long setup for DXY, which is that one. Not that detailed, but it's that one. So that was confirming my idea. But we see that the market is still contracting. We have this range, the green support line, and the resistance line here. And this is our range currently. It's a almost 210 pip range, that one. And what could happen is, anything can happen as long as we stay inside of this contraction. What I expect to happen is that the market will retest this area and then try to go down to this area again before it either breaks out to the downside or goes to the top side. As long as we stay here in this triangle, we could look for short opportunities with the next retracement. For example, short here. This is one of my plans. For example, short here, yeah. With the stop loss, I have to measure the stop loss with the ATR and the current volatility, but this could be a setup. You don't even have to trade the 1-hour chart. What you can do is you can just say, okay, I wait until it goes up, and then you trade the 15-minute chart, for example, and look for an entry here in this area with a tighter stop loss and a tighter target. Yeah, that's one opportunity we would have. And yeah, as long as we stay inside of that, anything can happen, because the triangle is always a 50-50 thing. It can either break to the top side, then you see a fake out, it goes down again, breaks to the downside, and then it continues, or it breaks instantly to the top side. It's triangle is not really reliable. So the textbook says it's a trend continuation pattern, but seriously guys, what is euro? When you look at the bigger time frame, you see that's a little downtrend. Look at the weekly chart, how weak that one is. It's so weak. And suddenly we just see volatility, and the market freaks out, jumps up, jumps down, jumps up, jumps down. So yeah, it's not really trendy, and this is why a triangle like that is less reliable. So yeah, this is one of my plans. When we see there's a rejection at the, let's say it goes down here back to the support area, it rejects here, then we can look for a long entry. These are my plans. And if we see a breakout, obviously we wait for a retest of this pattern. And when we see a rejection, then we will get finally the big move to the top or to the downside, and we can follow the breakout. But I will, we'll have to check the volume this day. I will have to check the fundamentals, the sentiment, the correlations. And when I see, okay, I get a confirmation, then I would execute this trade. This is just the plan for it. All right, so we can save that one. I mean, it is still saved, but I want to save the screenshots here. Okay. Or do you have any questions for the setup? Do you see anything else? Do you see something that you would prefer to trade? Right now, we in the middle of the nowhere. Anything can happen. Like, we in the middle of the range. We are almost in the middle of the triangle. It's not worth it because you don't get a good risk reward. Is a TradingView Pro account advisable? It depends on what you want, dude. I mean, if you say, hey, I want future data, for example, yes, it's definitely advisable because you would get them and you can choose what type of, asset you want to get, and you get it without any delay. If you want to get the volume profile, for example, like that, then it's advisable as well because you won't have any access to it unless they change something. But yeah, as you can see here. And it's not expensive. I mean, if you get a pro account, what is it, like $10 or what was it? I don't even remember. I'm just paying all the time. I have no idea. No idea. Yeah, that's so far still the plan for Euro USD. Anything to add? Or can we continue? Nothing to add. Low, true, but that's two coasts that need to be regained. True. Absolutely. So now interesting is when we look at GU is that it's that I expect it to be very weak, way weaker than Euro against the USD. And when we look at Euro GBP, then we see a lot of potential to the top side, which would confirm, my expectations that GU will drop harder than Euro, or even we see a GU drop while Euro USD is still, stable, or maybe it goes up. But we'll probably see more weakness in pound than in Euro. At least that's my assumption when I look at the chart. Because when you look at the chart, it's all gone again. But when you look at the chart, I had the preparation last week here, and we shorted GU on Friday as well. Is this, because when you look at this 4-hour chart, then you can clearly see, first of all, the wave count. We have a WXYXZ correction pattern, and we see a double top pattern. I was checking the divergence and was checking the time cycles, and we see there's clearly a downtrend now. And what I expected to happen is a continuation of the entire impulse which has started here, and impulse correction, long flat type correction with the double top pattern. This is why we got this WXYXZ, and the breakout below the next zone, retest, continuation. So this is, now you see the play button, you see here the retest of the next zone. It has rejected off the neck zone, the upper line of the next zone, and now it should continue to the downside. That's what I expect to happen. Maybe we get another retracement. We can use that chance to execute it. And if we break below this trend line again, it would even give us more confirmation for that trade to the downside. So what I would do is another execution here at this resistance or below the support here, which is close to the trend line so far. When you look at, hold on, let me delete it. When you look at the bigger time frame, and you can see that we were hold on, this is the weekly chart, that we were creating here a triangle pattern in the daily chart, and there's a very, very strong resistance here and this trend line, and as soon as we break below it, we should get a lot of void. There's another support here. This might be one of the targets, could be a target zone here. Is there anything else? No. In the weekly chart, now let's look at the daily chart. without any word counts and shit. This one, it was that one. Hold on, this support and this one. And here. Let's delete that. This is the range here in the daily chart. And this has been a sharp type, flat type, and A, B, it was A, B, C, D. Fake out. And I expect a continuation of this run to the downside here. Break, fake out to the top side, break out, double top pattern, and now a break below the neck area here and a continuation to the downside. And as soon as we break below this trend line, boom, it should go down. Should even drop harder. All right. A beginner question. Could you maybe quickly say how I can implement the volumes as you mentioned regarding to the pro account into strategy? Thank you. You mean how you can create a strategy for this? Or how just to implement it? Because you can click indicators, volume profile, and then you get your session volume here. And you click on it, and then you get it. And it's currently the random one. I have a template here. It is that one. So it looks like I want to have it. Because I cannot just, you know, quickly give you a strategy. This would take too much time, way too much time. Because first of all, you need to understand how that works. I have a video for this. I can post it to you. Or is Jim here? No, Julio. Or one of those who've been watching this video. I have a video on YouTube about that topic. I heard a lot about volume trading as a strong indicator. I'm looking into sources, reading about this. Yeah, you can actually see where the big players do their business, and the great thing on it, you can see how strong a trend is. But it's not like an exit or entry exit thing. It's not working like this, and it's not an indicator. That's very important. You get real-time data because all the indicators, such as MACD, RSI, and all these indicators, they're based on a formula. You know, this is math. And they're always lagging, but with the volume profile you get real-time data, you know, and they don't calculate anything. They just show you the buys and the sells and the volume, you know, the important and accepted prices by the market. That is a huge difference. Okay, let me delete all this. Then we check this once again. You can remind me, then I would give you the link when I'm done with entity USD. Okay, yeah, so far when you look at the bigger time frame and the monthly chart, now I'm curious about that trend line here. Look, that's interesting. Let's check the closing prices. That is interesting. Look at that trend line in the monthly chart. There's a very, very strong resistance. This is a Q resistance zone here, which is currently still our support, as it seems. Or the market is stuck in that range. Look, the market is stuck here in the monthly chart. There's another trend line, but I delete that one. I don't need that one. Now the daily chart. Yeah, look. Still taking that one as a support resistance. The market's stuck here. Look, has created like a triple top here. And there's still the support. Trend line, hold on. Closing price. The closing price. I want to check the highs. Oh, it's struggling. It's really struggling here. Now we have a trend line for the closing price and for the highs. And see, the market is really kind of struggling here. Really struggling here. Oh, huh? How did I do this? How did I change the chart? Bruce, gotta run. Talk to you later. All right, buddy. See you later, man. And I think I understand. Thanks, man. People like you are precious. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. You're welcome, buddy. Yeah. What I wanted to say is, entity USD has not really changed. I don't really, gotta get deep into this because look at my preparation that I had here. Where is it? We still have a flag pattern. Where is it? Where's my entity USD preparation? Here, the daily chart. We still, I know the flag pattern was at entity CHF, I think. This is a rising wedge pattern that we see. When you look at the daily chart, then you see it's still struggling. We've seen the breakout. Now we're in the retest. I expect it to go down. But look here. Let's delete all this. We don't need that one. Again! What the? What am I doing? Here, this is our resistance zone. Here, the resistance area. Look at this. What you can see is this contraction here with a fake out to the downside. See, when we mark up this trend line, then we can see the relevance. This is a trend line inside of this entire pattern. Like that. Here, breakout, retest, breakout, retest. And now we're below this trend line again. And hold on. As long as the market struggles to break below the support here, I wouldn't do anything. Well, my plan would be to short it. Look here, strong support. Short it here, but the problem is still that the risk reward is pretty bad here. That's what I don't like. Because we would have to be carefully at this trend line here, which is close to that support. Look at the support. Strong support here. Look how the market reacts. So it might be not that interesting, in terms of risk reward ratio. But if we see a breakout here below, then it might be very interesting to short it. If we see a breakout at the top side, it might be interesting as well. But for now, it's again, like in the middle of nowhere. And all this, look at that. Looks like a, flat type of correction pattern. It could go up. Because then we would see something like this is A, B, C. Oh, I choose the wrong one. Like A, B, C pattern. We are close at the fourth wave, or the low of the fourth wave, which is here. Means it's still a valid uptrend and it could continue very soon. When this correction is done, and when we look at the hold on, Fib ratios, it's 161. $200. There's still bit of space now from wave 3. It looks like the market is contracting here a bit while it is falling down. Let's remove that one here. Now, fundamentally, it's something else. And that's the tricky part. Whenever I post signals, then I want to get confirmation on both sides. On the fundamental, on the technical side, and the sentiment has to be right. So when all this looks like flat type of correction and it goes up again after 1 2 3 4 5 and ABC, means this is impulse 1, correction, wave 2 3, then we see the breakout. But the news are bad because we see a lot of tension between China, USA, and all, different fights between the countries. Then we don't have this confirmation in terms of fundamentals, regarding to fundamentals. And that's the tricky part of it. You have to get the confirmation with the fundamentals. Yeah, but either it breaks through here, then we could short it, and when it goes up here, we could take a look for a short or long. The market is very volatile, and comes up with fake moves into any direction, so we have to be very carefully. But for now, for tomorrow, I don't see any great opportunities here. Okay, now we wanted to check GBP entity. And hold on, I'm gonna find the video for you. But it's 1 hour, and it was a live session, so I'm still answering questions there, but you can check a look at it. I'm explaining how the market moves and market depth and order book and stuff like that, to give you an insight of how the institutional traders actually trade and why charts are just a little, part of trading. It's not all what you need. Just 20% of trading. So there's a very strong support, as you can see. And that's why GBP entity and GBP odd are so interesting to everyone, because everyone is currently looking for a long. Now see this breakout out of this trend line here in the weekly chart. Look at the daily chart again. You can clearly see here this trend line and the relevance of it. The market was kind of dancing around it, fake out, went above again, rejecting, and now we've seen the breakout, the retest, and the continuation to the downside. And if something like this happens in the bigger time frame, then we can expect a continuation. Because in the bigger time frame, this is where the cash is flowing. But as always, we are trading a news-driven market. Anything can happen it's a corona market, different market conditions, not comparable to a normal bullish market, guys. So there's a strong support, and I remember on Wednesday everyone was asking me to give them like a confirmation for a GBP entity, GBP odd long setup. And as I always say, when everyone is yelling go long, or everyone wants to go long, don't go long, dude, because you're taking away the liquidity for the big players. But this is what you will learn in this video that I've just posted, that I gave you. Because the big players need liquidity, and they need to collect. And if they don't get the liquidity, then they will do everything to get it. Means they're gonna stab you out. And if you provide a lot of liquidity to them, like everyone is going long, man, it's perfect for the big players who want to go short. Because they can take it. They can take all what you got. So overall, we see there's a strong support, but yeah, I'm concerned about the fact that everyone wants to go long. And yeah, there might be a great long chance if we see a rejection, but what I would look for is a fake out to the top side, means liquidation or stop loss fishing here at the bottom side. That's what I would do before I do anything here. So I want to see how the market breaks through this support level, fishes all the stop losses, shows a fake out, goes up again. Then we see the market is above the support, and then we see slowly how it goes up. Then we can consider to buy. Overall, it is a nice place to buy, because what I expect to happen is before a market continues like that, we should see another retracement to the top side. And this is the daily chart. So when we're looking for a day trade, yeah, and we see the market is ranging like that, we're in the 1 hour chart now. There's the trend line here of the 1 hour chart. And we can check the volume as well. Where's the, yeah, there is it. And we see how the market is kind of like in a price discovery mode here, trying to attract more buyers and sellers to come in. And the market continues like that. Yeah, we see the market stays in that range. The market stays in that range. And hold on. What space we got there? Stays in that range, and we see a fake out to the downside. Then we know someone is, you know, accumulating volume, but can't accumulate enough because everyone is buying as well, all the retailers. So he's makes sure that you're all gonna sell, takes all the lots you sell to buy, goes up again, then we can buy. And there's still a retracement missing, you know, decent retracement to give the sellers higher prices to join the rally to the downside. So this is what could happen. Fake out. This is what I would trade. I mean, like that, you know, fake out, retest, then it goes up. Retesting this resistance zone, which is only 38.2% retracement level here, not even 61. And all this is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We long, strong, and pulse. Like that. Two, three, four, five. Oops. A, B, C. A flat type of correction here. A, B, C. A, B, C. What goes up? Possible scenario with a fake out. Yeah, then we can consider to go long here, back to this resistance, but we have to see what's going to happen. And I want to see that the volume chases the price. For now, we see, look, there's high sell volume here, but the market, oh, let's add the vertical volume. You see how even, you know, huge buyers or sellers cannot really move the market into one direction. Oh, hello. Gosh, my dog. Into one direction. Means it's getting manipulated, you know, to attract more people to come into the market. More sellers, more buyers, you know, attracted just to you know, cause more liquidity in the market. And as soon as we see fake out or, you know, move above this resistance, it might continue to retrace a bit. But, you know, this would just be a plan. I would wait for a fake out, then we're going to buy. If it's up here, we're going to wait for a rejection, then we're going to sell. But for now, it's not confirming anything for me personally. All right. I would take a screenshot of that one. Because this might be a plan. This might be a plan. Okay. I was looking at UCCHF, but I'll be right back. And we're gonna continue. Then we're gonna continue. And check USD CHF, because this asset is seriously annoying, but there might be big moves coming soon. There might be big moves coming soon, but I'll be right back. Hold on. Family just came back home.
Ich habe deine Nachricht nicht gelesen, weil ich gerade aufgefahren bin.
Huh?
Deine Nachricht nicht gelesen.
Ach so.
Ich bin gerade abgefahren. Was hast du denn geschrieben?
Ich habe gar nichts geschrieben. Ich habe dir eine Voice-Nachricht geschickt.
Okay, das weiß ich.
Ja. Okay, yeah. So USDCHF might be interesting. Hello. USDCHF might be interesting. Oh gosh. So looking at the monthly chart, it is still, look, we have a very strong downtrend in the monthly chart, right? Beginning at 2001, look. Since the first bubble exploded, USD is consistently falling against CHF. Is it less risk appetite? Don't know, but it was not really able to get back. I mean, it was at 180 Swiss franc had no value at all. And now it's almost back at the parity. Look at 1 here. This is where the parity is. Oof, right there, which is currently a very strong resistance. As you can see, look how the market bounces off the parity all the time. So it means equal. $1 is 1 franc, Swiss franc. And look, it used to be support here, support, resistance, 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 fake out, resistance, resistance, over and over again during the past years since 2012. And now we're stuck in that range. We can clearly see, I don't I don't know whether this can, you know, continue to drop, but imagine we would get another crash, man, and you know, everyone is in, you know, putting the money into safe currencies such as CHF and JPY, you know. Man, this would be horrible for the US dollar against the Swiss franc. But the current correlation is different. You know, we see that the USD is gaining strength as soon as the stock market drops, because investors are exchanging their stocks into US dollar currently. And all this, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4. When I look at the waves, guys, then I see in the very big time frame, right, that this is a 1, 2, 3. This is a flat type of correction, 5. So it could continue to go down in the bigger time frame. But yeah, this could take ages, years, you know. However, but overall, I prefer to look for short setups when I trade USD/CHF. At least when I swing trade. Scalp trading, day trading, something else. But at least when I hold on, what kind of angle is that? That's a 40-degree. We could use scan. It's not even close, still far away. So we see this is a very, very strong key level, right? This parity, the resistance. And we've seen, now hold on, that the market is kind of ranging between this support, key support level here at, what is that, almost 95, right? Yeah, 95 cents, and the parity at $1. You know, at $1. So now it all looks like we had this trend line, like a contraction. Look, contraction, and a breakout in the bigger time frame. Here, fake out, fake out, fake out, fake out to the top side. A lot of weakness, you know, a lot of stop loss fishing moves here. A lot of sellers coming back into the market in you know, in this contraction. And we see a fake it to the downside, support, support, fake out, and finally the breakout. And then retest and a continuation to the downside. Now the market is very whippy. Look at that. When you take a look at the 4-hour chart. Hold on. That was the 5th wave. This is the 4th wave. This is A, B. Oh, how whippy. C. Wow, this is so whippy. A, B, C, D, E. It could be A, B, C, D, E. However, we're currently right at this strong resistance that I've shorted so many times, guys. I've posted so many signals at this price. Always short or long. Always at this level. This is my personal key level here. Hey Jeremy, is there correlation with gold and USD/CHF? Yes, it is. Currently not that strong, but there is definitely, it is because of the risk appetite. Everything is correlating somehow. Normally you have a positive correlation between USD/JPY and USD/CHF because USD is getting weaker against these currencies because JPY and CHF are safe havens, right? So when the market is in a risk off sentiment or in a risk off mode, what is it usually doing? It is usually selling off the stock market and, you know, invest the cash into commodities and into safe currencies such as CHF, JPY, and gold. So there's a positive correlation between the safe havens and gold, and so a negative correlation between USDCHF and gold. So when USDCHF goes down, gold usually goes up, because USD is going down against CHF, CHF is going up, USDCHF is going down, and gold goes up. This is also, just basics. You have to check this and always understand the context. The current correlation of gold is a bit tricky because cool, because just because we need a reset in correlations. We need a reset of the cash flow, which is currently pretty hard to understand because it's so complex. But when you look at the past, then you've seen that JPY, CHF, gold, all the safe havens went up with the stocks, while we had an inverted interest rate curve between the short term or inverted coasts of the short and long term interests. So that we know this is a typical sign, or used to be a very reliable indicator for recession, when the banks, or when it's not worth for the banks to give out credits anymore, because they have to pay more interest for the short-term credits they get from the central bank than they earn with the long-term credits they give out to the customers of the bank. And the problem was that a lot of big, that we've seen that everything was just climbing, except bonds, everything was just climbing and climbing and climbing, and the correlation made no sense anymore. And I was like, okay, something has to drop. So we've seen gold went up, right? The stock market crashed, and gold crashed as well, because the big players, the hedge funds, they were losing billions. They had to compensate the losses of the deals they had in the stock market with the profit they've made with gold. It means gold and stocks went down at the same time. And that doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense at all. Only when alright, they were bleeding and now they have to compensate this somehow. Otherwise, they're going to lose all the customers, the hedge funds and the investment funds and all the big players who got the billions in the market. So currently, correlations between USDCHF, USDJPY, gold, blah, and so on is a bit, tricky. It's not that simple as it used to be. So you really got to watch this carefully during the market opening. Gosh, dog's freaking out. Daughter asking questions. Okay. I hope you got it. It's a bit more complex. You need the context can always be different. So gold can be an option for buy, if I understand well. Yes, it can be an option when the stock market crashes. Or when the stock market continues to go down, it can definitely be an option because it's a risk off, commodity. It depends on how big the trust of the market is into that asset, which has been, very unreliable in the past, but very volatile. But yeah, of course, as soon as the stock market drops, we could get a very nice opportunity to buy gold. And my assumption is that it's going to hit 1,800 very soon. Always the biggest story behind a pair with FX. Yeah, dude, to explain everything would take a lot of time, man. Because you always need to understand the country, how the country works, the economy of the country. And when you understand the country, then you understand the currency, Only then. And as we know, the financial market And the economy, especially during our time, you know, can be very, very complex, man. Sometimes when there's so much going on, even the experts, you know, I'm looking at don't even really know what's happening, you know, because there's so many different market players with different intentions. You know, this is, by the way, why this market is currently so tricky and hard to trade and hard to forecast. It's more reactive than predictive. Anyways, we see there's a nice trend line, this one here, right? And we see the market is currently, it looks a bit like DXY currently. It is contracting in the daily chart. So there's a strong resistance right there. There's a strong resistance. Or it's like a resistance zone. Look, this one and this one. And the market is currently contracting here. It's kind of building a breakout very soon, or should break out very soon in the daily chart, as you can see. And this could be a 1, 2, 3, and here a 4, or the fourth pattern, or the fourth wave. And now look, in the forward chart, you can clearly see between that trend line and the lower trend line, this one, there's a contraction. We create higher lows, lower highs. So there's no trend currently. It's not trending at all. It is just contracting. And my plan for day trade is, as soon as we break out here, then I would buy, right? And as soon as we break below the 1 hour chart, this support again, this current support, we could give it a sell. Because this looks like a double top pattern. On Friday we were long here, and that was the first target here. I think was the first target. Second target was here in this area. And this looks like a double top pattern, yeah. And when you look at this trend line here, then you see, this is by the way why I wanted to go long on Friday. We see a breakout. Now this is interesting because this is showing us a bullish scenario, and this double top pattern is showing us a bearish scenario. And if we break below here again, back to this neck area, this one, and we can't break through and don't trigger this double top pattern, then it might go up again, but this X support might turn it into resistance. If not, it could go up again. Then we can take the support as, with this trend line, as, yeah, our support zone, and go long to this resistance. And obviously the other way around if the breakout is confirmed. Now here, short. Because this looks like A, B, C. And then we could see this, which would fit into my assumption that DXY will go up and Euro might drop. This would be one plan long, one plan short. This looks like an ABC. Oh, what a messy structure, guys. Wow, really messy. It's A, B, C, D, E, X. Messy, messy. You can clearly see this here. Breakout, retest here with a nice fake out to the downside, long. All right. This is one of my plans for USDCHF. I'll keep that open because I want to post it. there anything else you would like to see? Like I said, I've prepared a lot already. Oh, I smell food, guys. I'm gonna get some food soon. You are a great instructor. I like your simplicity. Thank you, buddy. I hope you understand some of the stuff that I'm trying to explain. Sometimes it's hard to explain everything of it because yeah, it's so complex, you know. I would have to create a checklist for everything that I want to explain. Yeah, gold is still the same thing. It's still the 1.345. My assumption, right? A, B, C, and the wait, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern up to 1,800. That's what I expect to happen for gold. Then we got trend line or the trend channel, which is this one, and on this one. The middle line, don't need that one. And you can see still the breakout we were trading, that one. I'm telling you, man, always the same things, guys. Always the same things. Still the expanding triangle here. And the pole of it, which is that one. Here's the breakout. Oh, we almost completed it. Breakout was here. Which was the A, B, C, D, E pattern. And now we see strong resistance here. Look. Yeah, ich komme gleich. Strong support here. Look, it's right at this level here. This has been 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this, look, this trend line is giving us a nice support. Got this trend line and currently the contraction. Hold on, that was the support zone here. I wanted to go long. I had a long setup here, right? For those who remember. And told that was just a preparation, told not to execute because the market was so choppy. And look at this beautiful confirmation of this trend channel here. And all this looks like, but I would have to change it. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the extended wave. Now this could be an A, B, C, which is the fourth wave. Or if it continues with another down move, then it would be an A, B, C, D, E. This is the alternative oops, the alternative one. And then we could look for another long opportunity here, because as soon as we see the break here, this break of this trend line, or the current secondary trend line, this one, gotta adjust it a bit like that, fake out, test, 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 and we see another move here. This would be my favorite scenario. It goes down here, and then we see the breakout, and then it moves up to 1,800. All this is currently a, yeah, perfectly, look, perfect 61.8% retracement level with the nice fake out here. Look, the nice fake out here, and this could easily no, I got that one. Yeah, could easily move to 1,800. Take that one. Which would be, in the monthly chart, a very strong resistance. Here, this area. This will be the target area in the monthly chart. All right. Hello, Jeremy. Please, what is your take on odd USD? I'm still short, buddy. I'm still having a short position open. I hold it over the weekend. Can you tell anything about WIT? You mean crude oil? CL? WTI? Or what is WIT? Or was it a tippy? Because WIT, what is that? Witten Investment Trust. Do you want to know this, or do you want to know what about oil? I have no idea. Witchen. What about use 30? Mohamed, that's a good question. I'm gonna check this as well, but I soon will have to eat. Okay, quickly. Oil. Okay, you want to check oil? Yeah, oil is, you know, the chart is just a mess and boring. I think it's all about fundamentals, because it's currently doing what it ever wants to do. But looking at the monthly chart, you see there's not much TA to do for me personally. We see very nice retest of this resistance here in the monthly chart. Look, very clean and nice. And it has closed right below the resistance here. Boom, boom, boom. We see this trend line, the downtrend line. Now looking at the weekly chart, it could either, you know, reject off here and then go down again, depending on what happens to SPX, because oil is a strong pre-indicator for the stock market. Means it usually correlates positively with the stock market. When oil goes up, the stock market at least gets a lot of support. Now we see this trend line here, the breakout, the retest with a nice fake out to the downside. Look here, the trend line breakout retest, it continues up. Now it's important to see whether the market is able to break through this key resistance. It's a very strong key resistance zone or not. So if it breaks back below this trend line here, then we can short. But for now, it's just, you know, stuck in between a trend line and a very strong key support, key resistance area. So there's the support, there's the resistance. Oh, dankeschön. Oh no, got food. So, yeah, you know, we have to wait. It either breaks below here, then we can short it, or breaks above, then we can go long. Then we would have a confirmation for the trend line breakout in the daily chart. Okay, so US 30, Wall Street 30. It kind of looks like the SPX 500. As we know, almost every index is following the world's index, which is SPX 500. There's a very strong resistance, and the market is just fighting at it, you know. Would you mind doing quick analysis on GBP odd? It looks like GBP NZD. We're talking about this, but we can take a quick look on it. And after this, I need to eat. You know, it's a lot of setups already prepared. And guys, tomorrow I'm gonna live stream again during the long session. I've been checking charts all day. Not all day, but a long time today. So yeah, now look, there's a strong resistance, key resistance here, there's a key support here, and in the daily chart you can see it doesn't really know what to do, right? There was this trend line, the breakout, strong sell-off, and we just keep it simple. There's a nice GAN. Look at this, how the market respects that GAN as support here. Here, look at that. Now in the 4-hour chart we see the contraction here, and this is, by the way, where the market did not really move this week, because the stock market didn't move, or the stock market didn't move at all. That's why the market was so choppy and boring, because the stock market was not moving. Look at this, just boring. Yeah, and for now we see still a contraction here. All this looks like an SHS, this here, and this looks like another, in the 1-hour chart, just another contraction. For me personally, technically, it looks like a trend continuation to the top side, because this would be 1, 2, this is 3, 4, 5, and all this looks like an A, B, C, D, E pattern. So technically it looks like a long if it breaks through the resistance, but as always, a triangle like that is not really reliable, like I said. Very strong steepness here. See the contraction again, so there is something, you know, happening very soon. We look at that like this, but for now, no real, you know, buy or sell signal. That's the problem, you know. Okay, would you mind take a look at GBP odd? Right, forgot about GBP odd. Let's have a quick look at this one. It looks like GBP NZD, probably because they odd USD and GBP NZD, they correlate. Odd USD and NZD USD, sorry. Yeah, it's kind of looks like the same, almost. Strong support area, and as always, I say one more time, when everyone is yelling long, don't go long, because everyone will go long. And it takes away the liquidity for the big players, and they will be forced to do something, either take all the longs and go short, or just stop you out before they go long. So there might be a fake out be possible, and that's what you can, by the way, always or often see at these kind of obvious support levels. Obvious support levels are often not great to trade, or not great to, you know, blindly, or it's not great to buy them blindly, because just their supports, because the big players, they know that you guys are looking at this, or that we are looking at this. Now look at this trend line. Overall a very nice, you know, chance to buy, but it's too obvious. Look at the weekly chart. Nice trend line here. Fake out, fake out, fake out. Let's look at the closing price. Still space. This is a fan. At least the closing price, but the candles are showing nice fake out here. The first reaction at the support area, which is, yeah, I mark it up in green, wait, like that. So you see there's a nice support area, this trend line, and there might be an opportunity to go long as soon as we get the confirmation. Look, it looks like GBP NZD almost. There's the trend line of this entire impulse to the top side. And now breakout, retest of the area, continuation. And let's see if we got a consolidation like GBP NZD, but I don't think so. The 1 hour chart, no, not exactly like that. It's because AUD USD has been weaker than NZD USD. Yeah, but overall you see key levels, very nice, very nice chance to go long or to go short if we see a breakout. Wow, very nice chance to go. Just, you know, key levels, but we have to wait for the week. Is London and US session open tomorrow, or is it bank holiday? Harry, it's bank holiday. Bank holiday, and it's probably not worth trading tomorrow because there's a huge lack of liquidity, which is increasing the risk of trading because of possible more volatility. You know, the quiet before the storm. We don't get a lot of data tomorrow, so it might be a boring day, but we're gonna check that tomorrow during the live stream. It might be a boring one again, like I said, but yeah, it's part of trading, dude. Being patient and wait for the right opportunities. And if there's no hungry fish in the lake, then we don't waste our bait, as always. So I'm gonna check GBP JPY, and then I'm gonna eat and yeah, call it a day, because then I want to chill a bit, you know, and relax before we head into the next week. Yeah, in the monthly chart we can clearly see, look, a very strong support area here. Very, very strong. Now I expect you to continue dropping, and if we get bad news from China and the USA, then JPY will probably gain more strength. It means that there is a potential to break through the support level, because JPY will probably go up and JPY will probably go up and GBP will go down. There's at least, you know, on the fundamental side, a strong chance or probability that this is going to happen if Trump, you know, and Xi Jinping are not, you know, willing to find an agreement, you know, or just relax a bit and don't come up with new tweets and headlines and more tension. Then there's an opportunity to break through this strong support level in the monthly chart. So far in the weekly chart, we see there's a resistance here. Yeah, strong resistance. These are our two key levels, and there's currently this range of 530 pips almost. See this trend line, and look how the market respects that one. See this? Here, fake out, break below the trend line again, and now resistance. And the market is really contracting here. And as long as the market contracts, and it's kind of like, you know, in this, like I said, this price discovery mode, or is just in a balanced mode, then it's not really interesting to trade it, because anything can happen. And as long as we see the market is balanced and the market is in this price discovery mode, it's just, you know, there to attract more people to come in. But the point is, the big players, they won't show you where they go. What they do is they just collect.
So, ich wollte gerade fragen, willst du noch was?
Nee. Noch nicht. Noch nicht. So it's currently at the strong support. Here the upper line is currently the resistance. in the weekly chart. Now let's look at the daily chart. What plan I had and I didn't short it was in the 4-hour chart. I wanted to short here. I didn't do it because we were already GBP USD short, and we see there's an obvious correlation currently, and JPY is currently a bit weird in terms of correlation, you know, kind of like ignoring the risk sentiment of the market, which is making it more complicated to trade it. But you see there's this downtrend channel currently, this one. Now we're in the middle of it, so it's not that interesting to trade it. But we're close to this area here. If we see a breakout, go short here. See how strong that support is. If we see a breakout short, if it goes up, here's a nice short area because here's a strong resistance as well. Here, short area to follow this entire move here. Is this 1, 2, 3, 4. Ja. Doch, habe ich. Ich bin gerade noch im Livestream. Yeah, and if we see a break above, then we can go long. So far, for now, you know, if we want to string trade it, not that interesting. But in the 1-hour chart, for example, we could short here or go long even here, you know, when you want to day trade it. But it's in the contraction, the bigger time frame, so this is making it more risky. All right. Okay, so far so good. Lots of ideas, but I already saved them so far. And I would say, guys, I'm gonna eat now, and then I'm gonna see you tomorrow for the London session. I hope that we're gonna get some action, otherwise it's gonna be boring. But we have to accept this and then trade on Tuesday if it's boring and not worth it to execute. But yeah, for now I'm gonna relax a bit and get ready for tomorrow. Hey, and my dogs are freaking out again. And yeah, that's it so far. Hope you enjoy your Sunday, guys. I will see you tomorrow. And yeah, as always, get refreshed because it's gonna be tricky again, let's say it that way. So relax a bit, calm down, and be ready for tomorrow. All right, guys, see you tomorrow then. Peace.